Hey, what's up everybody? Jason here. This is the Ignite Hotline, answering your questions that you came up with last night after the sermon. Now, last night we talked about friendship, talked about how to have friends. The three number one elements of a solid friendship are this. Number one, what was it, Mary? Number one, selflessness. It's not about you. You need to be loving the other person as you wish to be loved. Number two, loving confrontation. You know who your real friends are when they come to you and say, hey, I think you're in the wrong. I think what you're doing is wrong, and I love you, and I want to see you get better at this. That's how you know what a real friend is. When they come to you and say, hey, bro, hey, sis, I love you, but what you're doing is wrong, and I want to help you. I want to encourage you to move past this. Number three, the gospel. Hey, we're all jacked up people. We're all messed up. We all have problems, and it's only the gospel, the message that only Jesus can make us not jacked up. Only Jesus, the blood of Jesus, the life of Jesus, the death of Jesus, the resurrection of Jesus, only Jesus can make us not jacked up people, can fix us. So those are the three elements. But y'all had some questions and I want to answer them. So from the 510, the first question is this: how do you find that deeper connection in a friendship? Well, I think for starters, you need to talk about deeper things than just the weather. A lot of times, our relationships are just surface. You got to be willing to go deeper. Hey, you should ask your friends, whether they're Christians or not, just how they feel about spiritual issues, how they feel about things going on in the world. Not just about what you're wearing, what we're having for lunch, or how much I hate school. You got to be willing to go deep. If you want to find a deeper friendship, I mean, you might need to get deeper friends. I mean, maybe the people you hang out with, they're not very deep to begin with. They're just very shallow people. I don't know, that's not a judgment, that's just reality. There are some people out there who are very shallow, and they're not going to take you to deep places. I mean, I once heard it said that the people you surround yourself with, you are going to become like in some way. So if you surround yourself with shallow people who only care about the externals in life, that's all you're going to be as well. So, I don't know. I think you need to find people who desire the deep things in life and go after that. Another question: what do you do if you have a friend who isn't a Christian and they refuse to even go to church? Well, my answer to that is, what do you see as the need to bring them to church? I mean, if they're not Christians, why should they go to church? I mean, they need Jesus before they need church. So the way I would answer that question is, make sure that your life is exemplifying and modeling the life of Jesus, the love of Jesus, the humility of Jesus, the grace of Jesus, and let your friends see that. Don't worry about bringing them to church. I mean, I'd love it if they came to youth group just because it'd be great for us to get to know them and give them a place to hang out. But they need Jesus more than church. Another question from the 510. Should we really have this kind of deep relationship with more than just a few people? I say the more deep relationships you can have with people, the better you are, because you're going to have all those different kinds of people pouring into your life. I mean, hopefully, you're going to have deep relationships with different kinds of people. I mean, for the most part, the people that you're friends with, yeah, they're going to be very similar. But I know I'm friends with a lot of people, Christians and not, who have different personalities, different interests, different kinds of lives, and they're all contributing to who I am. I know God has put them into my life to help me grow as a person. I think if you limit yourself to just a few people that you're really close with, then you're going to limit the kind of positive influences that can be in your life. No, don't get me wrong. I don't think you're going to be best buddies with everybody that you hang out with, but I think if you can develop, the more deep relationships you can develop with people, the better. Here's something to think about too. I would not go down the best friend route. And what I mean by that is you have one person who, this is my best friend, we're BFF, we always hang out, we're totally alike. Because what happens when something bad happens in that relationship? Or maybe the two of you need to split, or whatever it is. Then all of a sudden you have built up this person as kind of like your anchor, your foundation, where as long as I have my best friend, everything will be okay. Well, no, that's not the case. Now you've made this best friend into an idol. I think you need to have a lot of good friends with deep relationships, people who can pour into you and you can pour into them. Last question, here we go. What are some ways I can make sure I'm being a good friend? I think the way you answer that question is to make sure that you're being a good friend is the way that I treat people the way I would want to be treated. Am I considering the needs of my friends before myself? Am I looking out for the best interests of my friends before me? So I think you got to go down that road. You got to say, hey, how do I want to be treated? How do I want to be accepted or talked to or confronted or loved? And then turn that right around and give that to your friends. If you're not doing that, then how else are people going to treat you? And then how are you going to treat them? So that's cool. Anyway, great stuff, guys. Keep them coming. As always, you can text your questions to 80IGNITE08. Totally anonymous. We'll try this out every Thursday, answering your questions if we don't get to them on Wednesday night. Love you guys. Adios.